A news report for Trojan Horse Mission to the Philippines, the 4th of August to the 10th of September 2001. On this mission, we reported the work of Ernie and Shirley Fable, who owned and ran Shalom Bata, a children's home in Makati City, Philippines. Diary entry, 6th of September 2001. Saturday the 6th. We visited the children's orphanage, Shalom Bata, run by Ernie and Shirley Fable in Merville Village, Makati, Philippines. They were born-again believers, taking care of 36 orphaned children, all under 3 years old. Alan Atkins introduced us to Ernie and Shirley Fable.
He raised you up and taught you these things and dragged you by the scruff all you through the mill, and you've been blessed with 100 children nearly. How many children is it really you can look at the moment?
Well, at the moment we've got 36.
36. Is there a limit to the number you can take on board?
Up to 40.
We can take up to 40.
Right, okay.
We have 44.
Now, old Mother Hubbard, she had so many children she didn't know what to do. Do you ever feel like that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
Right, this is your turn to name the children one by one, quickly, please.
Okay, John, Paul, Emmanuel, Alvin, Erica, April, Jasmine, Romeo, J.R., Abigail, Sarah, Charlotte, Jay, Adam, Darwin, Mark, Michael, Ben, Gerald, and Ellie.
Wonderful. Oh, Ellie, that's my daughter's name. Are they going to sing? Oh, the little one.
Jeremy, I forgot Jeremy.
Where is he? There he is. Okay.
Okay, let's do our singing. We do this every morning at 9 o'clock. Come on then, children. Okay, ready? We're going to do it nice this morning because our visitors are watching. Do the actions. Oh, make the twinkling stars, the twinkling stars, the twinkling stars. Oh, make the twinkling stars, our Father God. Oh, make the flowers that grow, the flowers that grow, the flowers that grow. Oh, make the flowers that grow, our Father God. Oh, make the birds that sing. Hey, for the birds. The birds that sing. Oh, make the birds that sing. Our Father God. Oh, make both you and me. You and me. You and me. Oh, make both you and me.
We preach in prisons and we preach to people that are at the ends of their life. They see your work and they think they could never do work like you do.
Well, Ernie was a steel worker.
I was a steel worker
Yeah.
for 25 years.
Yeah.
And Shirley worked in cake shops and laundry.
Really?
We're just ordinary, everyday people who God has chosen to live in the Philippines.
Brilliant. So God's chosen you to come here and do this work.
Absolutely.
Can you give us a brief words of encouragement for people that are going to hear this video about their lives, what God may call them to?
God will call you any time, any day, any moment of your life. Just drop everything and go because He'll never fail you.
Right.
We left 3 daughters behind in England and God told us He'd take care of them. We now they're grown up with 4 grandchildren and we never worried about them being left. God's taking control.
So would
of
you
our
say that
lives.
the good news of salvation to you two people was the power of God in your life?
Definitely. The change of our life.
Change of your life.
The change of our life.
Overnight change.
Overnight change.
Overnight change,
absolutely.
yeah.
Straight away, no little bit by
We
bit.
gave our hearts to Christ and said, you're in control because we can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
We
great
can't
stuff.
do it. What we do is no good anyway, so
Brilliant.
God does it, it's perfect.
What our lives were with ordinary people.
Yeah.
Sometimes people think they cannot use ordinary
Yeah,
people
yeah.
or people who have been in sin.
Yeah,
People sometimes think that they can never be used.
right.
We were the people that
God chose to use.
chose to use. We opened the church, we closed the church, we cleaned the church.
Wash the toilets out.
So, God chose you. Were you as helpless as this little girl when she was chosen and selected to come here?
Most definitely. Definitely.
So-
Because we're all full of sin and we're helpless babes.
And he does good works, yeah? And we praise his name.
Absolutely.
Well, that's brilliant. That's
Absolutely.
lovely. That's lovely. That's lovely. Now, let me just bring your wife's name again is?
Shirley.
Shirley. Well, I'd like you just to quickly come and tell me. Now, just share with me the good news that you received this week about the adoption, please.
Okay.
Tell us the good news.
The excellent news that we received this week is that we've got the first adoption to Ireland
Yes.
ever in the Philippines.
Is this Southern Ireland or Northern Ireland?
Southern Ireland.
Southern Ireland.
Southern
right.
Ireland. The minister was here last week.
Yes.
Actually signed the documents to
yes.
say that adoptions could take place in the Philippines.
So this is the first time ever from this orphanage? Yeah.
First one ever from the Philippines.
Really? For the Philippines? This is good
Philippines.
news.
We just signed a contract.
Well, you see, I think
This
we
is
all...
history.
It is history for the
We're
Philippines.
making a history.
Has this been recorded and spoken about in the newspapers yet in the Philippines? Yet?
No, not yet. No.
Well, maybe not in the Philippines, but maybe not as important.
Ernie, where did the children come from?
They usually come from hospitals, social welfare, or mostly that,
How do they end up in these places?
because they've been abandoned on the street,
Really?
or they've been abandoned in the marketplace,
Yeah.
or they've just been left in hospital.
So what sort of age are they when they come here?
Sometimes newborn.
Newborn babes?
Yeah, we had Katie. Katie's down there. She was back in a vacant block.
Really? Let's just
Newborn.
see if we can see Katie. Where is she? Over the back there?
You'll have to go over there.
She's in the back there, marks that clear there, yeah?
There's Katie.
Where was she found, Ernie, again? Tell me
In a
again.
vacant lot
Yes?
in just wasteland.
Really?
They see a lady, somebody see a lady drop something in the grass. The cord was still attached, so it was a newborn baby.
The umbilical cord was still attached as she was
Yeah,
dropped?
yeah, the cord was still
Yeah,
attached.
yeah.
So we knew it was newborn.
Yeah.
And she kept, that was in the morning.
Yeah.
Social welfare telephoned us. Can we accept another child?
Yeah.
Katie Fable.
And this is Katie.
This
This is Katie
Katie.
Fable.
She's actually got our name because she had no name.
No name.
So she's Fable
still
is
had
no-
the cord.
So she was chosen by God
Yes.
to come here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She was found. It was a miracle she was found because the people who found her
Yeah.
thought the mother was just throwing away garbage, rubbish. And they went to check it because they wanted to get money out of the rubbish.
Yes.
And they found the newborn baby still with the cord attached. And so she hadn't got no name, so we named her Katie Fable.
Katie
That's our
Fable.
name. That's our family name.
So you see, we've got a James Fable in America.
Yes.
We've got a Katie Fable waiting to go.
None of these children have stayed with their mother long enough to have known love.
Right.
They are brought away straight away. They are dumped in rubbish dumps, cardboard boxes. The little girl last year, 3 years old, found on the market carrying a plastic bag with a dirty old dress in. And how long she's been wandering around the market, no one knows. She's been here a year now, and the transformation in that child already is evident to be seen from her first photograph to what she's like today. But she hates men. She's probably been
Really?
abused by men. And that's going to stay with her for a long, long time, and she needs a Christian home. She needs loving parents who are going to teach her the love of God. You know, that there is a love out there that's not going to be painful to her, that's not going to hurt her, that is going to embrace her, and that is going to give back her life. Because some of these young children have been robbed of their life already.
Yeah.
They've never known what it's like to receive any kind of kindness. Some of them have got marks on their body, which we know are physical marks. They've been abused. Well, how much more are the mental scars, the emotional scars? And that's what we want to mend. That's why we want them as young as possible.
Yeah.
In a way, so we can mould them. Mould them into institutes, because you get the love of God as soon as you walk through the door. So therefore, the staff and everybody have got that Spirit of God that's floating in the air. And that's what makes it so different
We've
to
got
an
a couple in
institute.
our church.
Yeah.
We're in Nairobi, taking the children off the streets
Yes.
of Nairobi.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to do. That's why we have babies, because we want to get them before they get on the streets.
That's it.
If you don't get them before the age of 3, they are on the streets, and to get them off the streets is so much harder. If we get them as newborns, our youngest was 2 hours old,
Really?
and if we get them as newborn babies, they'll have known the love of God right from birth. They'll have never been on the streets, they'll have never had to beg, so they never have that worldly spirit in them, in a sense. Yes, they're sinners. Of course, we're all sinners until we get saved by the grace of God.
Yeah.
But we can impart that love and grace of God into their lives from the very beginning.
The other thing is, by bringing them up from birth, you're also challenging the mindset.
Yes,
You're
that's
giving them
right.
a different mindset.
That's right.
So you're not leaving them to the mindset of,
Yeah.
of being beggars and
I mean, some of these older children that we've had in our home, they don't know what it's like to be loved. You know, we've walked up to children, we tried to embrace the 3-year-old and kiss them, and they backed away from us. The fear of man is already in that little life,
Yeah.
and we have to break down that fear and give them the fear of God and not the fear of man.
Yeah.
Because these
So what's the longest time you've had a child here before he was throughput?
5 years.
5 years.
Little boy, we had 5 years.
And he's been adopted now?
He was adopted to Canada.
Really?
And he's living a wonderful life, but it was just like, Every child that leaves here, it's like a part of us goes.
Do the parents keep in touch with you?
Most of the parents, 90.9% of all the parents stay in touch, especially now the email, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Full email. We
Yeah.
get regular photographs, we get pictures of Ati and Kuya, the children draw actual pictures themselves.
So tell me what your email is, email address.
Shalom Bata 2 at abc.net.ph.
Brilliant.
I was nearly going to forget
Well
it.
done.
I was sorry.
Well done.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I was nearly going to forget that. I always forget it. But it's lovely to have updates of the children.
Yeah.
And the messages that come back from the parents. Do you know what they say? Our son and daughter are so different to other adoptive children. They say you can tell these children have been brought up in a family home, a Christian home. And because we can choose the parents for abroad, we choose Christian parents. 2 of our children have gone to pastors, gone to ministers' homes. So we're a bit concerned about those 2.
Do get people writing to you, asking for...
We get lots of people who see the web and write and say we want a Shalom baby.
Yeah.
In actual fact, 2 of our adoptive children's families are now going through the process of a second child and both want them from Shalom. But we get people saying, well, this is the home in Manila that everyone talks about. This is the home we are advised to come by the social services. We are, if any visitors are coming from abroad, we had some couple come from Denmark. They were advised by the social welfare to come and visit Shalom.
So, do they learn English?
All the children speak only English. They've never speaken their own dialect.
Tagalog.
Simply because they're going abroad.
Yeah.
We only have 4 adoptions in all the years we've been here in Manila. And so we believe that as these children, we want them to relate to their families immediately.
Yes, they can.
And because of that, English, they do. As soon as mommy comes up.
So if they go to Germany, they could learn German?
Of course, once they get to their own country, they'll be bilingual.
Yeah.
But Tagalog's no good even out of Manila.
No.
You go to a province and you can't even speak Tagalog.
I see.
All my staff speak different dialects.
Right.
So if they don't understand each other, how much more the children?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So I only employ staff that can speak and understand English, and then all my children speak English. So you noticed today when you went down
Yes.
and said hello,
Yes.
they knew exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
They know what you're saying because they don't know any other language. They're Filipinos, but I think they think they're British, really. They even talk like me, early. They have the same accent, some of them, which is lovely.
As you're speaking to me now, your older accent's coming back. You're more clear. When we first met you, you was pronouncing like the
because
Filipino.
I've just been speaking to
Yeah.
my staff on the way out, you see.
Yeah.
So I'm still speaking in that Taglish, they call it.
Tagalog.
And I have to learn to speak like that so
Tagalog.
my staff will understand me. But once I get back to speaking to, obviously, British people and all my visitors, then I can start speaking normal again.
Yeah. Now, have you got a website that people could look to?
Well, we have, yeah. I know you're going to ask me the address, but I'll give you the details later.
Okay. So we'll put that on.
It's a very good website, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
We
very
need that because I'm sure with the internet and things
Yeah.
like that, people would really
Yeah.
like to contact you.
Yeah, yeah.
And a contact number, and it'd be very brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look.
When you take babies in,
Right.
where do
Correct.
they actually come from?
Tell
Do
us.
they,
Yeah, well, as Ernest already told you, some of them come from the hospitals, garbage
A moment
dumps.
ago, you just said some baby came from a prison.
Yeah, we
Tell
actually
me about
had
that. Tell me about that.
we actually had a little girl that both parents were in prison for drugs. Suspicion of either drug pushing or
Yeah.
definitely taking drugs. The baby was born in the prison.
Yeah.
Then they brought her to us because they wasn't a good place to keep
Really?
a baby. We had her for a time and then the mother wanted her back. So I actually went to the prison with our social worker
Yeah.
while she interviewed both the parents. Very nice couple. Their only problem was they were in sin, in drugs.
Yeah.
And this baby was a beautiful baby girl.
Really?
And eventually the baby was returned to the mother. And then after 2 or 3 days, got serious diarrhea.
Really?
Obviously in the prison.
Yes.
Living with the
Yeah,
prisoners.
yeah.
And got serious diarrhea, so the baby had to come out of there. She came back here for
Yeah.
a few more months. Then the grandmother took her to the province.
Yeah.
So that baby actually was born in the prison, started her life in the prison,
Yeah.
came to us for a few months, went back to the prison, got terribly sick, came back to us and is now living in the province with her grandparents, and her parents are still in prison.
Yeah, amazing. Mr. Betts. This is a nursery. Let's have a little bit. About this thing? his little children.
At the same time, discipline. No, if they don't do the devotions, well, they'll get excited. But if they don't do the devotions, they'll have a drink and not a biscuit. But if they don't sit down, they don't even get a biscuit. And they know that. At lunchtime's the same, they sit at their table, and they know if they mess about with their food,
Discipline at that age is the best thing in the world.
Well, it's good because we've just had a...
The more you talk about it, the more you'll receive it.
Amen.
We've just had a child on Monday adopted to Canada, 5.5-year-old girl from Canada. On Thursday we had an American couple who have been adopted to the US. And then on Monday we have a child going to Ireland. And then in 2 weeks' time Robin's going to Netherlands. And then at the end of the month, beginning of October, little Ellie's going to England.
England?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the girl who's
going
coming
to
to Blanford.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes, one little girl's coming to Blanford.
Yeah. Briefly mentioned that you suffer from Parkinson's disease.
Yes.
Yeah? How long has this been known to you?
It's been going for 3 years since I had it medically checked.
Right.
So it's 3 years October now.
So this hinders your work here, doesn't it? Does it?
Well, it slowed me down a lot.
Slowed you down a bit, yeah.
At the moment, the last few weeks have been really more bad days than good days.
Yeah. So, I mean, we know of characters in the Bible that God, like Jacob, he had a wounded leg and he had to limp for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And the Apostle Paul had a thorn in his flesh and it hinders, it says, like to buffet to Satan's work. Now, how has it affected you in respect to your relation to God?
I don't think it's affecting my relationship with God. Because I know.
I mean, does it drive you to him, to depend on him more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me realise that God is in control of Shalom,
Yes.
not me.
Right.
Not that, because we set it up.
Yes.
We have a love for the children.
Yes.
We want to do the best for our children here until they're adopted. But it's shown me that God is in control of my life.
Yeah.
And He can heal.
He'll like that, he can do. If he chooses
If He chooses to.
Yeah.
But I think it's just speaking to us we've been here 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's just speaking to us whether we have to make kind of other plans. Maybe
Yes.
God is showing us that I mean, it's 10 years, night and day, 7 days a week.
Yes. Yeah.
Every day of the year. You know, it's a thing that doesn't, you know, sometimes in the Philippines
Relentless.
they don't understand. You know, they'll pray for me 1 week and ask me if I'm better the next week. But then again, I know that God is in control.
Yeah.
And over the last year, we've talked about not changing our plans of what we feel for Shalom.
No.
But
Accommodate the different.
accommodating
Yeah.
maybe 6 months in England, 6
Yeah.
months here.
Yeah. Gordon, will you pray for Ernie now, please?
Father God, we thank you.
Speak up, Gordon.
Father, we thank you for your amazing love to this dear brother. Father, we come to you now in the name of Jesus. You take authority over this disease. I mean, Father, in the name of Jesus, you have promised to heal the sick. And Father, therefore, we claim that promise now from you this morning. Father, by your love and grace, the power and authority invested in your people through the Lord Jesus Christ, through the blood of his Christ, Father, we come against this sickness and we declare that by his stripes you are healed. Father, in Jesus' name, this disease must go now. In Jesus' name.
Amen. And may the good work of God continue and bring you to a full end. Glory to his name. And strengthen you and equip you and continue that work. Blessed be his name. Good to meet you, Ernie.
God bless you.
I think things will change now that the husband has been suffering with Alzheimer's.
No, it's actually Ernest got Parkinson's disease. It was diagnosed 3 years ago.
Oh, yes.
Very hard for us both. Not only for Ernie because he had the sickness and that he was suffering, but to watch your husband suffer, who you've been married to for 33 years. We've just been married 33 years 2 weeks ago. It was a terrible blow to us. We know that God is in control. At the time, I think we forgot it for a while, which you do when you're terribly upset about something. Your whole world is turned upside down because we plan to stay here for the rest of our lives. We plan to die here. We plan to just give our whole lives completely to the ministry. Ernie is often very sick now. And so we just feel that as time goes on, we'll possibly have to change our direction. Our hearts are still for the Philippines, for the children, for the ministry. We may have to spend so many months in the UK, so many months in the Philippines. We may do a bit more public relations work, more fundraising, so that we can be released from the midnight emergencies, from the 3 o'clock emergencies, from running to the doctors every time we come home.
That would mean you've got...
Right, now, what we'd like is some of the factual details about your work here, how people, if they were disposed to help, what could they do, what your visions are for the future, and anything you feel you'd like to say, please. Ernie, come on.
No, go ahead.
You know, Ernie, you come on.
You have to ask him a question.
Ernie, right, we're going back to England, and we'd like to know, is there any way that people in England could help, or any other countries we go to? What would you like, how can they help you?
Oh, okay, he wants me to do the talking, so...
Go on, then,
okay, so if people say to us at the moment, what type of things do we need? We are very, very blessed with material items. We have many clothing, and particularly we have many strollers, and the material things are given on a regular basis. That's where the Filipinos here are very generous. They will donate those kind of things. And food also, but our particular need right now is actually more of a financial need to continue to run the home in the highest standard that we run.
This is, would you call it ongoing daily costs?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, the daily bread.
Daily bread.
It's just to feed the children, to be able to buy them fruit, and they eat the same food as we eat, so we know their diet is a good diet. It's whatever's good enough for the children, we eat the same. But we like to be able to buy them regular fruits. Fruit isn't cheap here in the Philippines, especially when you're feeding so many children. They take 2 snack meals a day, so that's a lot of biscuits and bananas and stuff like that.
Now what about...
So we work through Shalom Christian Ministries. They're based in Leamington Spa.
What's the address, please? Have you got paperwork for that, please?
Yes, we've got paperwork.
We'll take the paperwork then,
yeah, you can take the paperwork. But they're an organisation, registered charity in England. They send out our finances. We also do a sponsor baby scheme.
Oh, good.
And this is a good scheme because we don't put a limit of any particular price per child, so school children can do it.
Good, yeah.
You can send us as much as 10 pence a week, and pence, not pence. Or you can do as much as £1 a week.
Really?
And we also have a baby bottle filling scheme,
yes.
which people put their loose change into a baby bottle, and when the baby bottle is full, they not only donate the money, but they donate the baby bottle. And that's very popular in the UK, and we also have a contact address if anyone would be interested in doing that.
obviously God's called you to, the evidence that God has called you to this is the fact that it's working, and God's blessed you, okay?
It's a good
now,
place.
now, it would seem to me that you might be able to help other people that want to do this in other countries.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're very, very keen to have volunteers to come out.
Yeah, and to train them?
And to train them and to give them the benefits of knowing what it's like to run a children's home, a good children's home, to know exactly how to go about it themselves, but also to help us at the same time.
Yeah.
So we encourage.
There we are. Well, here's the office. This is the cybernetic room. See what we've got. There's a picture of all the children. Let's have a look. I suppose we could count them actually. We'll try and just explode in on these. Here we have it, look at them. Children, children, children.
Biscuits, huh?
There's Gordon with his 43 new adopted children. I'm sure Patricia's going to love these children, Gordon.
Shalom is a family. You have to sit down now and then they'll have their break time.
So this is the family home.
This is a family home, not
Shalom,
the
the family home.
It means peace,
Yes.
wholeness and complete.
Yes.
And that's what we want for our children.
Yes. Lovely.
A complete life, a whole life, and a peaceful life
Yes.
in a new family.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brilliant.
Alan Atkins, whom we now call Luke, for Luke was the news correspondent for the Apostle Paul on his mission, unwittingly became our correspondent for us on our mission, as reported in our book, Trojan Warriors, that tells the whole story, in which he wrote a very good report. This report may be read in our book, Trojan Warriors, and may be accessed by the link provided at the bottom of this video. Our mission to the Philippines was called Trojan Horse, as we sought to take the gospel into prisons and places where one does not normally go. This was a continuing work of Bearton Particular Baptists. We now continue and function as Bearton Particular Baptists International and publish our own Christian Times magazine. All copies of our books and magazines may be obtained through amazon.co.uk and amazon.com.